Blue eyes are less common in people than brown eyes. This is one of the reasons for the popularity of blue-colored contact lenses. It is possible that all blue-eyed people have one common ancestor. According to researchers from the University of Copenhagen, the appearance of blue eyes was caused by a genetic mutation in one person who lived in Europe about 10,000 years ago. Originally, we all had brown eyes, says the university's associate professor of cellular and molecular medicine and lead author of the study. But a genetic mutation affecting a gene in our chromosomes created a switch that literally turned off the ability to produce brown eyes. Eye color depends on the amount of melanin pigment in the iris. This mutant gene is located next to the gene responsible for eye color and limits the production of melanin in the iris, thereby diluting the color of brown eyes to blue. In addition to having significantly less melanin in the iris than people with brown eyes, swamp eyes, or green eyes, blue-eyed people have only a small degree of variation in the genetic coding of melanin production. On the other hand, people with brown eyes have significant individual variation in the region of DNA that controls melanin production. From this we can conclude that all blue-eyed people are descended from the same ancestor. They all inherited the same switch at exactly the same location in their DNA. If blue eyes resulted from a genetic mutation in one person, how did this characteristic spread from one person to 20 to 40% of the population of some European countries today? One theory is that blue eyes were immediately considered an attractive feature, prompting people to seek out blue-eyed partners for procreation, thus breeding a genetic mutation. An interesting fact is that blue eyes do not have blue pigment. As mentioned above, blue eye color is determined by a substance called melanin. Melanin is a brown pigment that controls the color of our skin, eyes, and hair. The color of our eyes depends on how much melanin is present in the iris. Only brown pigment is present in the eye. There are no marsh, green, or blue pigments. Brown eyes have the most melanin in the iris and blue eyes have the least. You can't predict your child's eye color. It was once thought that eye color, including blue eyes, was a simple genetic trait, and so knowing the eye color of the parents and possibly the eye color of the grandparents could predict a child's eye color. But geneticists now know that eye color is influenced to some degree by 16 different genes, not just 1 or 2 genes, as previously thought. In addition, the anatomical structure of the iris can affect eye color to some extent. So it is impossible to know for sure if your children will have blue eyes. Even if you and your partner have blue eyes, it's no guarantee that your child's eyes will also be blue. Here's a royal example of the unpredictability of eye color. Princess Charlotte, the young daughter of blue-eyed Prince William and green-eyed Kate Middleton, has blue eyes. But her brother, Prince George, has dark brown eyes. Blue eyes at birth does not mean blue eyes all your life. At birth, a person's eyes do not contain the full amount of pigment as an adult. Because of this, many babies are born with blue eyes, but their eye color changes as their eyes develop in early childhood and as more melanin is produced in the iris. So don't worry if your child's baby blue eye color starts to change, and as they get older, their eyes will turn green, swampy, or brown. Blue eye color has certain risks. After all, melanin in the iris helps protect the back of the eye from damage caused by UV radiation and high-energy visible, blue, light from the sun and artificial sources. Because blue eyes contain less melanin than green, marsh, or brown eyes, they may be more susceptible to damage caused by UV and blue light. As for the link between eye color and eye diseases, studies have shown that, compared to blue eyes, darker iris color is associated with an increased risk of cataracts and a reduced risk of ocular melanoma of the eye. However, because many people with blue eyes have an increased sensitivity to light and are at a higher risk of retinal damage from UV light exposure, most optometrists recommend that people with blue eyes be very cautious about sunlight exposure. And since eye damage caused by UV radiation and blue light appears to be related to lifelong exposure to these rays, you should start wearing sunglasses, which block 100% of UV radiation and most blue light as early as childhood. In addition, if you spend several hours a day on a computer, smartphone, or other digital devices, it is a good idea to wear glasses that protect your eyes from high-energy blue light when using these devices. It may be many years before we know the risks associated with exposure to blue light from computers and smartphones, but many optometrists believe it's wise to exercise caution to ensure your eyes are protected from exposure to these devices, especially if you have blue eyes. One last comment about blue eyes that you may find interesting. Studies show that people with blue eyes who drink alcohol have an increased risk of alcohol dependence. In a study of European Americans with blue eyes, people with these characteristics were shown to be 83% more likely to develop alcohol dependence compared to comparable members of a control group who had darker colored eyes. Thank you for watching.